Okay.
What's everyone else up to? They're playing DayZ. Might go play DayZ after we finish this.
Okay. So you can see it? We're good?
Yeah, I see.
Sweet.
Let me put on my main monitor.
Okay.
Yeah, it's up. I'm Gucci.
So, jungle. The game plan is different from laning, obviously. But basically, it's all about which lane you can gank. Like, what's the most optimal lane to gank,
Yeah.
and what lane will be the best to get ahead. And then you also need to keep in mind what Lee Sin wants to do. But for now,
Yeah.
just like focusing on yourself before you start to understand the enemy jungler is fine. So, okay. So we'll go into it. You said this was fine. I actually was pretty impressed. Like blue Grant Wolves, and then we look at mid and bot, and then if nothing happens there, we go to the top side. That was actually a really good plan. So yeah. Now, I'll go over one little thing here where you smited the blue, and
Yeah.
okay.
Do you not want to smite blue?
So the reason we don't smite blue here is it's really inefficient in terms of the health that you get and the damage that blue buff does. And what I mean by that is so you smite it here. Okay, yeah, it didn't in this situation. It didn't put you over full health, but that's because of a few like kiting issues on your behalf.
Yeah.
Like when you do the camps, you want to auto Q and then move back bit, especially with blue buff because blue buff moves really slowly.
Yeah.
So if you're always moving in between autos backwards and everything, then you'll take way less damage. So, yeah, in this case it didn't overheal you, but in most cases it will. And the other reason is because this camp doesn't actually do more damage, like the red buff and the Wraiths do the most damage, I believe. Especially the red buff. Because the Wraiths you can clear really quickly with Q, right? And Talisman. So,
and W.
yeah, like those aren't really an issue, but the red buff is. So generally when I'm jungling and on most like champions, most jungling champions, you want to save your first smite for the red buff. Because your smite won't be up for the red buff.
Yeah.
Even if you, I think if you do this, blue, Gromp, Wolves, Wraiths, red, it'll be up like maybe 2 seconds after you finish it, or like when it's under like 450, and at that point you don't want to smite it really because it's already under that. So yeah, just something to keep in mind, saving your smite when you don't need to smite it. You also, I think you undersmited that, so it's another minor thing. Like it was. Like, yeah. You took an extra auto for free. So again, that's another thing why you were under. Okay, so yeah, this is fine. Now, I guess I should like stop doing that. I need to get a second monitor, or just make it smaller down here.
Just get like a cheap like old like like a old thingy one.
I can just go like that maybe. I think if I just did that and have it.
Yeah.
Like here, doing better than covering the whole screen because that just annoys me, and then the replay it's also annoying. But yeah, there's something I can improve on. Okay, so here we go. The wolves is when we want to start. Well, first of all, when you're jungling, the first question when you're doing the first camp here is where the enemy jungler started. So you can figure this out really easily by which lane comes to the lane late, and which lane used like mana. On the camp?
Yeah. No, I understand that.
100%. So you just, like, when you're doing this, you look at the lane. So they're already in top lane, so you know he started bot.
Yeah, he's leashing bot side.
And if you wanted to, like, 100% confirm it, as soon as Janna and shit come into vision, you just click on her. Because you know Janna, like, 100% of the time, from experience...
Tornado.
Correct, she's going to shield her jungler. And so she's going to be missing like 20 mana or something, and then that just 100% confirms that Lee Sin started red. And that can actually, like, you always want to know where the enemy jungler starts, because that is something you need to eventually start to take it into account for your routes. But yeah, just like knowing where the enemy jungler started, just stick with that. I mean, you already know how to do it, so that's good. But that's like the first thing you should be thinking about when you start your first buff and the lanes haven't come yet. Now, we get to wolves. This was this was weird. Like, you were looking at the lanes, but you don't want to look at the lanes while you're not moving. Like, at least move, then look at the lane, and then when you get to the camp, use your abilities, then look at the lane, etc. So, little mistake on your part. So that slowed down your clear a little bit, but it's minor. But you know, everything adds up, especially when you're playing jungle. Every second counts. Okay. So as soon as you finish wolves, you need to, because you either, this is where you have like a flowchart again. Now you can either go to your next side of the map, or you look at the lanes and see if they're gankable. If they're gankable, we can move to scuttle. We can get deep wards to see where Lee is, because he could be on Wraiths, he could be on Krugs, he could maybe already be in River right now, or he might have gone to the top side of the jungle. So it's a flowchart in the jungle, especially in the jungle, of what you want to do next. So we see that bot is shoved in, and then Lee Sin shows up.
Yeah.
So your thought process right now is, can I counter gank? Can I get there to counter gank from this position? So you have to look at the lane, and you want to be chugging this pot. You waited way too long to chug this pot.
Yeah.
And you're making indecisive movements again. Here, like you should just instantly see him, spam ping it back, and then just go down here. If you think you can make your time. But look, that's like 2 seconds wasted again. Every second counts. That could be the difference between you getting there in time to kill someone before he kills someone, etc. So yeah, indecisive. Now he's an idiot. Like, I feel like he could just go in right now.
Yeah, he probably could have gotten a kill there.
I don't know what he was waiting for. Like, there was only 3 minions under the turret.
Yeah, and the Jhin Braum combo is not too good for stacking his passive effectively as other ADs. So that he would have pretty much could have gotten a free kill there on Jhin.
I don't know if he would have gotten the kill. He would have got the flashes at least.
Thumbs, yeah.
Yep. Now, when this happens, again, you took too long to chug your potion, so now your health's not full yet. You do have a level up on him, but he has a red buff, so unless you have like your E fully charged, you shouldn't win this fight.
Yeah.
If you did have full health and your E was fully charged and you came down here, you would chunk him and he would have to run, 100%.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I feel like he could have just gone in there, but now your bot lane were in position, so obviously he can't. So that's whatever. From this position, you just want to hit tab and see his CS. So like, do you know that you can, like, if he does red Wraiths, right? That's 7 CS, right?
Yeah.
And then if you hit tab, you can see that, and you can count like what camps he's done, right? And which camps he still has up. Now that's like a really high jungling skill. Like, it's really like high elo.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it, but like I just felt like I'd bring it up because it's really good. But there's just something to be aware of, you know.
Yeah, so just use the numbers to count what camps have done.
And you can just click on them to see his buff durations and stuff. So that's all part of the map awareness that I want you to learn. Yeah. So here, you hit tab. You could have done it earlier, but it's whatever. So he has 8 CS, so 1, 7, and he did scuttle, which we saw when we went down there, right? So he's 8 CS. So that means his Krugs are still up, his Wolves are still up, his Blues are still up, his Gromp's still up, and obviously the scuttle. So from this information, and because we saw him path upwards, we now know he's on the top side of the map. Right like this. Yep. And so this is good. We match him on this side, which that's like pretty standard. Even if you weren't like thinking about this, you want to match Lee Sin. And the reason why you want to match him is because Lee Sin is an early game jungler. If he doesn't get ahead, if he doesn't get his lanes ahead, then he falls off and he doesn't do anything. especially if the player on him is not competitive at the champion, because if he can't do like insects and team fights, then he's completely fucking useless, especially when behind. So against champions like Lee Sin, Elise, Rek'Sai, if you just have a plan to counter gank them and just track their movements and like you just fought all their ganks, you've effectively set your team up for the mid game and then made them useless. So yeah. Okay, so we clear this. And we know Lee Sin's on the side of the map, so we need to be looking at mid and top, because those are the only ganks he can. Those are the only lanes he can gank from this position, because he can't just magically TP bot right now. So these are the two lanes you should be looking at while you do camps. You can look at bot every now and then, especially if they fight, but it's not a priority, you know. Okay. So you wanted to gank this, but it's not really in a good position. Like the best you'd get would be a flash at best, but probably not. But we do know that Lee Sin's on the top side of the map, so there's a high chance him like being low elo and shit, he just like fucking does blue or something and goes top right now. So we want to be in position to counter gank that.
Yeah.
So, like doing red's here fine, but he could invade you, so you just want to like drag it into the brush here, and you'll also be in like you'll be closer to top lane that way.
Yeah. So if
keep
he
that in mind.
I can just rotate towards top.
Yep.
For safety
reasons. Doing that, it's like a kills two birds with one stone. You stop his invade, and you're closer to top lane, so you also kind of stop his gank because you're closer, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just like a standard thing you want to do against Lee Sins and stuff. Drag the buff into the brush so you can see him coming. Okay, so I think eventually he shows top, but Singe gets first blooded, which is good. And you just look at Na's HP, and it's pretty obvious, like, and you know he's on this top side.
Go for something.
He wants to kill him. He just sees his health, and he's like, I'm gonna go top and kill him. So you just wanna match it. You wanna be there right now. There's no point doing these Krugs, because they don't level you up, right?
Yeah.
And Na needs to recall, so you can. If the wave was like here, you could have helped him shove in. That would have been fine. Because then you get free XP and gold, and you protect Na, right? So that should have been your decision. But because the wave was already shoved in, it's fine. Coming down here is fine, because we know Lee Sin, there's a high chance he shows up right now, which he does here.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where, if you and Na were on the same page, I felt like you could have baited it and probably either killed him or got his flash.
Yeah.
So, I think Na does bait it pretty good, because Na recognizes that you're here. So, good guy Na knows what he's doing a little bit. And then he dodges the Q. But your decision to come here, like this way, was really, really awkward. Because...
Yeah.
Okay, let's watch it.
Yeah, if I went the other way, I could have knocked him towards the Na. The Na could have done some damage, sat under tower, and then he would have long to run.
And also...
The minions too.
Yep. If you knocked him into these minions, he would have been taking so much minion damage, because he would have been stunned for that few seconds, and even then when he's running away, he'll still be getting hit by this one, this one, this one. And his health would drop so low, he would have to flash, and if he flashes too late, then you activate Ghost. You could even activate Ghost if you come down this way, you know, to get the extra damage to knock him into him. And yeah, I feel like he's either dead. I think he's dead, like, in any case, even if he flashes, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because the lane, like, like, how much room there is for him to run it's so big. And you have red buff. So yeah. This could have been huge for your team. And I think I go over this a lot with Mickey.
Yeah.
His gank paths are really awkward. He does this a lot as well, where he wants to go the way, which is the fastest way to get there.
Yeah.
But sometimes going the long way is best.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's just gank pathing. I think he nearly killed me as well. Like, if that almost killed him, then fuck. That would have been free. So this is where I fucked up. I didn't count his CS properly. Wait, where did you hit tab? Oh yeah, 13. Okay, so he did he did Scuttle Red, which we knew previously, so that's 2, and he did Raves. So he had 8. He had 8 CS, and then he came topside. So now 13 minus 8, right? That's
Yeah, so he
6.
did. You know, no, that's good.
Yeah.
It's perfect for both full clear, except Krugs.
Yep. So that was my bad. I think I for some reason didn't factor in the scuttle. But yeah, that's just like looking at his CS. That's just an advantage because you now know his camps are up and you can just you see him top, so you can just take his wolves. But in this case, they were down, so that was my bad. But you still get the wards down, right? Which is it's not like the most inefficient coming here because you get the vision. However, he is going to recall straight into bot lane, right? Because his camps aren't up here. There's no gank potential up here, so he's obviously 100%. There's 1% chance he somehow randomly comes top again, right?
Yeah.
So there's a 99% chance he comes bot after this. So the wards, I guess it's my fault, but it's whatever. Doing the scuttle here, there's no reason to do this because of the same reasons. Lee Sin's not going to be on the side of the map, so this scuttle doesn't provide anything. Yes, it gives you the 70 gold, but you could just do Krugs, you could just recall into Mobies or something, and just come straight bot to match him. So this is inefficient. So this is our ping bot, because we know Lee Sin's going to be bot, and they're pushed up, so there's a 99% chance, because it's fucking low elo, that he just comes and ganks. Now he does an inefficient gank route, just like you. Comes here, he could have just came here, and then I think he kills them both. But it's whatever. And you just want to be watching this, again. This is another scenario where you just F keys while you're doing your camp. Because you want to see if they use, what flashes and what summoners they use to get the kills.
Yeah.
So, Janna flash, so you saw that, that's good. And then they flashed out and Jin died. So, I think could have pinged it earlier. I would have maybe just been Lee Sin going bot.
Yeah.
Before 20 seconds before that even happened, just to 100% make it impossible for that to happen. Because if that doesn't happen, remember the game plan, Lee Sin falls off, he doesn't do anything if this shit doesn't happen. So just to make it 100% safe, and because it is your job as the jungler to be tracking the enemy jungler and telling the laners when he's coming and shit like that. So we see him top when he was farming the wave. Here.
Yeah.
He farms the wave and then he recalls. And you'll okay, so he goes down to vision and you know he's recalling right now. Right? He's recalling here or in the try. So it takes what, 8 seconds to recall? Is it 7? Let's just
I think it's 8.
Okay. 8 seconds to recall. And then he has to regen a bit on the fountain, buy his items, so that's another 5 seconds or so, right? And then if he doesn't buy boots, it's probably about 30 seconds to get to here, right? And then another 10 to 15 to get to the try rush, where he's in gank position. So you can just over time, as you understand how long it takes to get from point A to point B, you can start to be able to track the enemy jungler in the fog of war without even seeing him. And the best junglers, they can do this at almost any point.
Yeah.
Now, you don't need to do this. You don't have to be 8 plus 5 plus 30 to get here, so I'll tell bot to ward now. But you can just have a general idea, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, let's just say 39 seconds. So from here, just be Lee Sin going, as soon as you know he's recalling, just be Lee Sin going bot, and then in 10 seconds just spam ping the brush, and that's all you have to do. You don't have to be like Lee Sin going bot, he'll be there 35 seconds. You don't have to do any of that for now. But just like a general or a simplified version is really good. Because once you start doing the simplified version, you'll eventually start doing the complicated and the down like to the second version, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just like starting the basics off it, and then you build off the basics. Because you don't want to be like, what's an analogy for this? Like you don't want to run before you can even walk, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just start off with the basics. Okay. Yeah, we already went over this, and then that happened. So yeah, that could have, none of that could have happened, but it's whatever. I mean, it's not whatever, but you know. Smite of blue, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that was the pinging bot lane layer. So he does a repeat gank. So top lane, Nara is winning like heavily, right? Because the matchup favors him because he's ranged and he got first blood. So he's incredibly ahead of Singed. And realistically, Lee Sin, even if he was on the side of the map, probably couldn't gank him. Just because what Singed can do is pretty limited, and he's probably under tower right now. And if you took a peek, you could see that he's probably he probably only has half health. So even if Lee Sin comes, Nah just jumps away, doesn't get hit by the Q, and like he's wasted so much time. So with that in mind, Lee Sin wants to be on this side of the map.
Yeah.
Especially because Infernal Dragon, right?
Yeah.
Because if he kills bot, he gets Infernal. If he kills bot, he gets the first blood turret. So either way, he like this being on this side gives him so many like options to snowball the game. This side, it's like the chance, the probability of something happening or getting his team ahead is so low because getting a Singed lane ahead doesn't do anything. Getting a Twitch lane ahead, that's huge.
That's off the rails.
Yeah, so that's like some concepts you can keep in mind. What the enemy team want, and then use that to your advantage. So they're pushed up again. They've got the ward in the try, so they're relatively safe. But Lee Sin is hitting 6 because we saw him in the river. Correct. This is where we saw he was doing scuttle. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we hit tab and he hit with 6. So because he's hit 6, even though they have the ward in the try, it's still like potentially risky, and they don't have flashes down either. I mean, they don't have flashes up. Because we saw them flash earlier when Lee Sin ganks. So your bot lane are in a really dangerous spot right now.
Yeah.
I would have probably just even put a ward down here. Or you do your blue and you ward, yeah. Because if you put the ward here, then if he comes down, they'll see him before he's like there.
Yeah,
so it gives him more time to react.
Time to react.
So that would have been huge. So he comes down the river, I believe. And you're in a counter gank position, not really, because if the Gromp was up, that would have been perfect. I would have even... hold on, okay. Yeah, okay. So you should have done wolves and then blue.
Yeah.
Because you're closer to bot lane that way, right? And you're in a better position to counter gank. And that should have been your thought process. There's not really much to it apart from that. It's jungle pathing. It's really basic, and that's the basics you need to work on. Map awareness. When you're playing jungle, map awareness.
Yeah.
Jungle pathing. Gank pathing.
Yeah.
And a little bit of what the enemy jungler and what he's doing.
Yeah. So is that it really? Other than that, it was pretty good.
I mean, we can go over some of the stuff you want.
Yeah.
Like the team fighting and stuff. Okay. I want to see this count again because I think this was unfortunate as fuck. If this didn't happen, I think it started with the first gank, because if the first gank didn't happen, they would still have flashes, correct?
Yeah.
So it all adds up in the end. Oh. Okay. Where does he gain? Okay, here we go. You finish wolves. You're even half health, which is like, oh. You know what? You're in a really bad spot to counter Yang right now.
The Jin shouldn't have walked backwards.
I mean, this Lee Sin's so fucking bad. He literally just hit a Q and then walked up and knocked him back.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing flashy about that. So, like, when this happens, you have to ask yourself, can I get there in time to do something? And if I can, what changes if I do get there? Because, like, looking at this screenshot, it's pretty obvious that Jin's dead before you get there. Correct?
Yeah.
So, Jin's dead. Bye-bye. Now, Brom's still alive. He doesn't have flash out of... I believe. He doesn't. And he's out of mana, so he can't really assist you on anything that you try to do. And they're all full health.
Yeah.
You only have a Sheen. Lee Sin doesn't have ult, yes. And Janna doesn't have her ult. But realistically, do you think you can even kill anyone here?
Maybe.
Well, I mean, then Janna hit 6 then. But even if she didn't hit 6 there, I still don't think you could do anything. And if they're actually on the same page, you probably die as well. Probably. But either way, it's another situation where it's lose-lose.
Yeah.
Like, you go in, you don't get anything, and there's a high chance you could die. If they know what they're doing. And then Brom, like, you entice Brom to jump in to help you.
Yeah.
And then, does he die?
Yeah, he does.
Oh my god, yeah, so that decision to go in was really, really bad. But, I think all of that could have been avoided with the first gank. Like, knowing, like, understanding what the enemy jungler wants, and also your pathing. So none of this would have happened in the first place. But yeah, your decision to go in, it's just like asking yourself, can I change anything? And the answer in that situation was no. So, yeah. Okay, moving on. 950 walking around the map. I think this is when you're wasting a lot of time top doing nothing, and then you get solo killed by Lee, correct?
I think so.
Yeah. I honestly would have just recalled here. Because even if you clear these camps, you're going to be low health, even if you smite them. So you can just recall and get, like, upgrade this to, like, Stalker's Blade or Skirmishes. That's okay. Because, okay, you ask yourself, it's another flowchart. If I go here and farm these camps, what can I do next?
Yeah.
Probably not a lot, because you're going to be low health.
Yeah.
So, just recall.
Yeah, fair enough.
And you just look at your gold and see, well, I do have enough to get a Stalker's Blade, and that will help my ganking, and I will be full health and come back, and then maybe I can go top because it's pushing in. So, decision making again. And then you see Na all in. He doesn't kill him though, which was unfortunate. But I think that's because he fucked up. And yeah. So this is another situation where Lee Sin's probably on this side of the map because he's already done his shenanigans. Bot, he's already cleared these camps. Dragon is still up, yes. So maybe if he's good, then he realizes that they don't have flash for another like minute or so. So he goes bot and repeats the gank and then gets Infernal. So you'd have to keep that in mind. But coming here into the river, it doesn't achieve anything. Like I know you wanted to kill Singe, but at that point, like even if there's the small chance that he's an idiot and he recalls like right here or something, and you get the ult off, this decision is not good because jungle is like it's all probability, right? And you want the probability of success to be as high as possible. Every decision you want a high probability. Every gank you want it to be a high probability of like a kill happening, right? So if you come into the river, if you play this game 10 times, right? Just for like an example,
Yeah.
Let's just say this situation happens 10 times where the top laner narrowly just escapes, and then you're here. How many times do you think you kill Singed here? Out of like 10 games.
Oh. Wait, I can't see this. Is the Singed on the mini? No, he's on turret A. Low.
Okay, look. Just watch. So you see me.
Oh yeah. Probably 5 out of the 10 probably. Because
Really?
yeah, because I could E under turret and then ult out over the wall near the like explosive plant.
So what, you come down here and you come here? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. No, I go like straight, so go from above through lane. That way, yeah, and then out through his jungle. And then use the plant to
I think
hop
he's
the wall.
already finishing his recall right now. It depends, like, again, it depends where he recalled. But if he recalled here, then
Yeah.
your gank up here does nothing. If he recalled up here, then yeah, you'll probably catch him just in time. But again, it's like a gamble. And then, again, like, the probability is so low. Like, at least on Hecarim. And then, yeah, Lee Sin's here. We know Lee Sin was probably on this side of the map, and you're half health. So,
Yeah.
with that variable, like, success just goes down completely, and then his success goes up. Because you face check him, and then he kills you. I mean, there was a few micro misplays here. Like, you didn't dodge the Q. Well, you dodged that one.
Not the original one, but it was sort of blind.
Okay, the original one, that was, like, blind, so, I mean, it's pretty much impossible. So there, you have to wait for ult, which is really bad. He flashes, he wall jumps, and then he fucks up. That was a good juke, like, he went down and then up. But, I mean, he should have been able to read that. And then this one, I wasn't looking at it, sorry, just typing it down.
Yeah, no,
But,
so I pulled into the minion, so if he could knew me, but then he still got the kill because he just jumped to the minion that was near me. Plus, Seb would have killed me if I walked downwards either way, so...
But everything that led up, it's not how you died, it's your decision leading up to it.
Yeah.
Now, a low elo player, they'd probably be like, well, I just face checked him and died, so I won't face check again. But they wouldn't they wouldn't actually improve because they're not thinking about why that event happened.
Yeah.
And it all started with Singe was low health and you tunneled and you thought you could get there in time to kill him, even though you were half health and Lee Sin was probably on the side of the map. So,
Yeah.
with that in mind, just be really careful and try to stick to only high probability plays. Because even coin flips are not worth it unless you're like incredibly behind. If the game's even and you're versing a champion like Lee Sin, do not coin flip. Coin flips are just, it's what like low elo players, not even low elo players, just like most players do in general, because they're not thinking and they just go in and then they hope for the best, right? And then maybe, yeah, they get a triple kill or something, or they fucking win the team fight, and then they think that's the correct decision because that happened to them, right? But it's not. So the way to improve in these kind of situations is thinking about the decisions that led up to what happened. So that way you can like reverse engineer, and you'll improve that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Alright, pathing. Okay, this is where you did rebuff instead of... Alright, where is this? Here. So there's no reason to do rebuff here, because it doesn't level you up. And, I mean... Realistically, I don't think you can gank Singed either. Like, if you do red... Because by the time you finish red, he's already ran off. You could maybe go up like this, like straight away, and not do any camps. but still,
Yeah.
it's like, you know, there's not a high probability of anything happening when you take into account he has ult and whatever. So, because this camp doesn't level you up and you're not going to be ganking like straight away after you finish red, you should just do Krugs.
Yeah.
Krugs, because we don't want to be doing this. This is like, jungle is all about efficiency, and the more you can make things efficient, the more you'll get leads on the enemy jungler, and the more you will be in the right place in the right time. Like, have you ever played a game against a really good jungler, and he just seems to be in the right place in the right time everywhere?
Yeah.
Like, you'll gank a lane, he's already there.
Yeah.
This is
It's
what
just
comes down to it.
Yeah.
It's your
Just
routes
prediction.
and thinking. It's not even prediction. Like, most of the time, it's calculations.
Yeah.
So, we want this is a calculation and a prediction. So we know that Infernal's still up, and Lee Sin has been prioritizing bot quite a lot, and bot lane has been perma pushing pretty much the entire game because of the lane compositions, right? So with this in mind, we don't want to be on the top side of the map. Being on the top side of the map doesn't achieve anything. Na's already hid, and ganking Sidge and putting him behind doesn't do anything. You could argue you could get the first blood turret, but why? Like with Infernal up and how bot lane's being played out the entire game, it's just not. It's not It's not good. It's not beneficial for your team. So because with all of that in mind, we should plan our route accordingly. And the way we do this, and it's fucking really minor, but it's still huge when you add up all the seconds that someone does this in an entire game.
Yeah.
Krugs, red, go down. And yours was this. Red, Krugs, go down. Now it's not like huge, but it's still a few seconds, right, that you wasted going up. So wait. Yeah. So you went up, and then you went past the same place you've already done. Like, you're doing the same thing over. Okay, I'm going to explain this really bad, I'm sorry. But, like, you go up here to do Krugs, but then you come back down to go back down to bot.
Yeah.
So you're going this, like that. Covering the same amount of, distance twice. So, if you do Krugs, if you start on Krugs after your recall, then it's like a smooth line, right? Down to your destination. But then this is like a fucking.
This is like a.
It's like traffic or some shit.
Yeah.
You got like detours going on. You don't want that. In the jungle, it should just be a smooth line that follows your decisions and what you're thinking in the game and how it's being played out. So in this case, Krugs red, and then we want to be on the bot side of the map. But don't be like the players that go like this one, like they farm forever. They farm everything before they do something. And that's it. So like you can do this, then you can do red, you can come down, you've got 2 charges of your ward, and you want to make your bot lane safe, you want to make your mid lane safe, you can probably put a ward like here, you can do scuttle, and then while you're doing scuttle, maybe Lee Sin shows, and then you're in the right place in the right time. So yeah. Does that make sense though? Like,
yeah, it makes sense to me.
Jungle pathing.
Yeah.
Don't make it where you're just farming a camp for the sake, like you're just farming a camp for the gold, or you're just farming it because it's there, you know? Every camp you should do, and every camp, like the way you do the camps, it should have a purpose. You should be able to like say to yourself, what am I doing, and why am I doing it?
Yeah.
Okay. So like your top side and Lee Sin's bot. Obviously you couldn't be there if you went top, but it's still like precious seconds, which could you never know. You can't say like, oh, the 3 seconds doesn't matter, because it could. And every second wasted is a second which could be used for a good opportunity, which is how I like to view it. Okay. So the bot lane, they don't die, but they get insanely pressured, and now they're under turret, and then Jhin does die because he fucked up or something. We weren't looking.
Yeah.
Which is bad. We should have been looking, but it's whatever. So when Jhin dies, your thought process is they can probably get Dragon because they have the numbers advantage, and Nas in base, Heimerdinger is top, so it's just a numbers advantage at this point.
Yeah.
That fucking. Alright, anyway. So, yeah, your thought process. You can farm the Gromp, it's whatever. Like, this is another scenario where, like, farming the camp doesn't do anything because it doesn't give you the level up, it doesn't give you enough gold to recall. So you're just farming it for the sake of it. So, I mean, you come down here and pick up the wave, which I think you do, but I don't. This is okay. Like you're being really indecisive again. Like if you're gonna come down here, just commit to getting the CS.
Yeah.
But just be careful not to get chunked, which I think you were afraid of. But because you were so afraid of it, you end up wasting time here.
Yeah.
A solid like 8 seconds, I'd say. Like, what? Just come down here, hit the CS. If they come up, then back off. It's whatever. But don't be like. See, it's like really. This is not even the jungle pathing now. This is just your movements. You know, your movement pathing.
Yeah.
I don't think you get a single set. Okay, you get 1, and you get the XP, but still, that was pretty inefficient. Yeah, so this is where I was like, they're doing Dragon because Janna comes up here and everyone's fucking recalled, and it's like, whatever. Because it's Infernal or if it's Mountain, you should try to steal it if possible. But it depends what side you're on. Like, obviously, if you're red side, it's really easy because you can just ult over the wall, right?
Yeah.
But still, there's ways for you to steal it, and this is your decision making. So instead of doing blue, you could recognize that they're probably on Infernal, and they probably started it 10 seconds ago, or something. So it's probably pretty low. So maybe you can't get there in time, but you do have Ghost, and if you die for it and you get it, it's worth. And if you die trying, it's still worth because the intent was good. So you could just like, you probably can come down here, I'd say, because you have ult. If you didn't have ult, maybe you can't. So yeah, when you're playing jungle, it's okay to die to like steal Baron and shit. But I will say this, it's not okay to die for it if immediately after the enemy team can go and siege mid and take 5 turrets or something like that.
Yeah.
But in this like scenario, it's pretty like, you just look at the mini map, you see where the champions are. They're coming back to lane. Even if you die, I don't think a lot's gonna happen if you die. So you don't need to do blue here, is what I'm saying. You could even just like poke your head into the river and see what's happening.
Yeah.
The time you took to tick blue, the dragon died. So yeah. And then we died to Zed here. I mean, this was like whatever. But you could have avoided this by just like putting your wards down or something.
Yeah.
Before you did blue, you could have just put your ward here and just to see like where everyone is, and you don't see you see his MIA. So yeah, it's unfortunate, like I said in game, but you could have avoided it just by being a little bit more aware of the map and stuff.
Yeah.
And at that point, don't waste your ult because you're dead anyway. Jesus, my throat's killing me. The VOD review. It's okay. Alright, let's carry on. So we went over all the flanking shit and like why this was bad and why you shouldn't try to do it right now.
Yeah.
Um, okay. So yeah, we'll just watch the fight. Like your team's so separated right now.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you get the ult. That was a good ult. You got 3 man. But like if your team was grouped and everything, and Nara and you weren't trying to flank up here, I don't think any of this would have happened, and the fight would actually be here.
Yeah.
Mhm. And I think this is where you're like, oh, I can't kill Zed. But I think if you just wait in that brush run right now, here,
Mhm.
and you just wait for your E to come off cooldown, and then you go, it's
I would have
fine.
made it easier. Yeah.
Yeah, because this was pretty close, right? Yeah.
This was fucking close as fuck.
But you could have just one shot him off the bat, and then this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is another scenario where people would be like, yeah, I got the kills, I did everything right, I outplayed them, har har. But
Yeah,
in real,
but it
like,
was just luck.
yeah, it was kind of luck, but it was just like a gamble, you know, because you don't know
Yeah.
if you're gonna die or not. So again, just increase the probability that this shit doesn't like happen. And it's just coming back to like knowing the champions, knowing that Zed can probably do this amount of damage, and then he'll get the shield from Janna and etc. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, minor mechanical errors. And then we kill them both, and we know their entire team is dead for at least 5 seconds for Twitch, and Singe is top, so we can push this wave in to the turret. So that should be the correct decision, always, in any case. Yeah. And then they respawned, and they have home guard, so you could push this wave. I think you can push it fast enough, that'd be fine, because by the time you finish the wave, they're like here, and then you just E away, right? Yeah. But again, you do like a really lazy recall.
Yeah.
And I've seen you do this a lot now. Just don't do this. Don't recall where they can see you. Because what happens if for some reason Lee was alive and he was farming like red, and you recall here where he can see you? Right? Because if he sees you, he's going to go for you, right? But if you're in the brush and he can't see you, then he's probably like most of the time not going to go for you. Because there's like a low chance that he somehow finds you or knows where you are. Yeah. So yeah, there's just being aware where you recall, and you don't want to like recall where they can see you. Because also if you recall there in the middle of the lane, they could, if they're on the same page and Lee Sin like spam pings Baron, I feel like they could like rush it and burst it.
Yeah.
Because right now they'd be on Baron. And Twitch would be doing so much damage to it because he's like really fed. It's probably half health. Yeah, they could have done Baron. So that was kind of similar to the Mundo situation where you came bottom.
Yeah.
Because so it's a lazy recall, and it's also being aware like that they could take Baron if they see you recalling. But they're idiots, so they push mid. But again, we don't want to we don't want to play around bad players. So yeah, even though they push mid and they don't get Baron, we shouldn't do that recall either way. Okay, and then the fight happens. So you get there late. You get there late. Jin is not there. So, whoops. Yeah. Heimerdinger is dead, but your team. Lee Sin goes really hard by himself. Like Lee Sin fucks up.
Yeah, he goes in for the solo like sort of assassination.
Oh no, he kicks. Yeah, he kicks.
Nah. Right.
But he could have just turned on you.
Yeah.
Because Na can't do anything at that point in the fight, right? So he has to back off. So if Lee Sin elected to just ward jump here and kick you before you ult, and then they just all focus you, I think maybe this fight could have gone really bad. Yeah. But that doesn't happen. And then they're not on the same page, right? Like, they're all scared because they're all low health, so he's like, oh yeah, I'm out. And then you get the 3-man ult. So there was a lot of mistakes on both sides, which is like it's going to happen in low elo team fights. So like, you don't need to worry about the small subtle details of team fighting right now.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you're really fed at this point because of how that team fight went, which is good. Fed Hecarim is really good. Okay, and this dragon comes up, and this is where I said you don't need to contest it, and you can't contest it because Jin's here. Like, so a bad player would like try to walk up here and then die to like a Z ult or something.
Yeah.
And you guys almost die. Like, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
But I think you can be there to get the blue because you can just E out, but
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck.
Rest of the team has been silly.
Yep, so again, that's just another situation where you need to ping them back. Wait, does he TP?
Who?
Singed.
Imar, not.
Where did Singe come from? Oh, he was on him the whole time. Okay. Yeah. Alright, moving on. Okay, the Baron. This is well, there's a team fight here. Right? So nah. Okay, Na was trying to get a really good ult, but he didn't get it.
Yeah, we got one, but this is the Janna, so.
Is that Twitch? That is right. That's Twitch.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Twitch.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say if that was Twitch, you should have just instantly ulted when Na ults. Yeah, Singed. Yeah, I think you can ult that. That would actually be a really good ult because they're out of position still, right?
Yeah.
So if you just ult that, then the team fight still goes in your favor, really good. But then that doesn't happen, and because you don't ult, they're now here. Like, Twitch is already here, and he's fucking getting free autos off of his ult, and then Jin has to flash.
Yeah. Oh wow.
So now you ult, but you only get Twitch in the ult. And at this point, you ulting Twitch doesn't change that, like, Jin's fucked now. Like, he can't really get in range because of how low range he is, and he doesn't have ult up, so he can only really realistically use his W. So yeah, you get the ult on Twitch to fear him, but like at this point, what it doesn't really change anything. And then yeah, look, see, they just turn on you, because you're in the middle of them all, and your team's like low health and they have to run away. So I think you had a good opportunity to get a good ult off there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and why Hecarim is pretty good in low elo is because the mechanics on him aren't really hard. It's kind of like Malphite. You just wait for them to clump up and then you ult in, and that's it.
Yeah.
So that's really all you need to look for when you're playing Hecarim in team fights, to get good get multiple people in your ult. Prioritizing the ADC and mid lane, of course. So that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Nearly finished. It's just the Baron, I believe, and then dying to Twitch. Okay. When was it? Right now. Yeah, so we know they're on Baron. It's pretty obvious because you all died and they just pushed made the map dark. It's a standard play.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, they're on Baron. As soon as you see them leave the base, they're rushing to Baron. See Lee Sin there. Lee Sin took your red up maybe, and then he went Baron. So from this point, you have two options. You either rush this way, and you activate your oracles as soon as you get to this point.
Yeah.
Or you come like this, and then you go like that. I mean, sorry. Like that.
Yeah.
Because if you go this way, it's like it's a chokehold. Like it's a point in the map where they can lock you down easily because of how narrow the terrain is. But they don't actually have any champions that can do that well in this game.
Yeah.
So this pathing was alright. But basically if they had like a Orianna, an Azir, like any like a control mage or someone with good AoE, they can control like the straight
like
here.
A move or something, yeah.
Then it wouldn't be a good decision to come this way. Because if you go this way, first you push the mid lane up, like the minions back, and if you come this way, then you've got more room to play around in the river, and you can get into the river more easily. But now if your ult was up, now everything changes, which is why I was like, oh, I wish your ult was up at this point. Because if you have ult up, you just come like here.
Yeah.
And you ult over.
Yeah.
It is a blind steal though. So I think you should have bought a control ward. You buy a control ward, you come to the tri-brush, and then you have to like guesstimate how much damage they could have done to Baron, and then you go. Well, you don't go. You count like 1, 2, 3, and then put the control ward down, and then you look at the health of the Baron. You look at how much DPS they're doing to the Baron, and then you go. So we'll just watch how you played it out.
Yeah.
Activate oracles. You didn't activate oracles, so you know they can see you. I thought this plant was up, but they were smart and they got rid of it, which was pretty huge actually. And your ult was 3 seconds, so like 2 things that were unfortunate. But at this point, with how low it is, you probably could have just like come down like activate your E and come in. But yeah, it was too late at that point. I think. Let's see. Just thinking if you could get into the Baron pit in time if you go around this way. So it's at like 2k right now. Yeah, it's at 2k. Nah, you couldn't have got it. You couldn't have gotten it that way. But I think this game, even though you couldn't have gotten it by going this way or like ulting over, it's still good to like understand how you want to approach this.
Yeah.
So yeah. You either like solo man go in for the steal if your team can't get there in time, because now was there. But if the Baron is still like relatively healthy, like it's half health or something, and your team can come down here and stop them. It's better to do that most of the time than going for a solo steal. So that was it for that, and then the last thing was just because, I thought you could kill Twitch, but you weren't hitting tab a lot in the game, which is another thing you can work on.
Yeah.
Because tab is like, it's like the minimap. It provides so much information about the game and the like rate it's playing out and etc. So if you like hit tab more, you could tell like you can basically tell how much damage a champion can do by like what items they have and like the experience you've had playing them and playing against them.
Yeah.
So I think it was 4 items, and he had his level 16 ult. Oh, he was level 15. He killed you. He killed you and got the level up, but he still had 3 items. So yeah, there's no way you could win that against your Triforce. You know. Jesus Christ, he fucking stood still and still killed you.
Yeah.
How come you? Yeah, he had the blood. If you didn't have the blood first, then you probably could have killed him if you had ult up. But yeah, like this, you shouldn't even do this.
Like that initial damage was tons, and then you just healed straight off it.
Yeah, he just got like so much healing. So you could get the blue and just get up. There's no reason to kill Twitch. So yeah, and then because of that, because you died, I believe they end the game.
Yeah. Pretty much it.
Okay. There was a chance to do something here, maybe? I can't remember. You get the ult, and then... Yeah, and then Twitch is just raping your team.
Yeah. If I backed off, it's because Twitch was there. Like I
Yeah.
could have easily 1v2'd the rest of them. It's just the Twitch is the problem because it's hyper fed.
Yeah, I mean, in that fight, it's like the game is pretty much over. Your team would have to be like on the same page. Get the like they fuck up a little bit, and then you get really good ult with Twitch in it.
Yeah.
That didn't really happen. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for this game. So, like to summarize, when you're jungling, there's a few things that you might want to remember.
Yeah.
So tab, you always want to be. You should like get it to a habit where you hit tab and you're looking at lanes so much that you don't even think about it. But right now, when you do it, it'll feel really awkward to do.
Yeah.
But that's the only way to make it a habit, right? You have to do it until it feels natural. You have to press through like how uncomfortable it is.
Yeah.
Like you know when a player like they're playing lock screen and then they play unlocked and they're like, oh, I can't play it, I can't.
Yeah.
But really they can. They just have to get through those like first few games.
And they can do it.
Yep.
Constantly.
It's like anything pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, you need to be hitting tab. These are just like not even micro or decision making. These are things you can fix by making a habit. So hitting tab, F keys.
Holy shit.
I can't write. I'm not gonna bother writing it. But
Yeah.
yeah, F keys, tab, and then you're pathing in the jungle, like what camps you're taking.
Yeah.
Do you want me to write this down in like Skype?
Yeah. Oh, nah. I think I'll be alright.
Okay.
So it's mainly just tab, F keys, and pathing, and
map
making
awareness.
Yeah, and having just a very fluent, clear.
Mhm.
Just overall map awareness, just like last game.
And then once you start to do that more, like map awareness and stuff, you'll be
Yeah.
able to.
Pick up on like the other things, like looking at this jungler's farm and stuff like that.
And you'll be able to track him in the throughout his jungle, even though he's in fog of war, and then you'll be able to know where you need to be on the map and all of that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.